All right. This is part two of building your own team, starting with you first. Be your best team member. Now, for those of you who did not hear part one, I want you to go back and listen to part one before you listen to this one, because I don't want you to miss out on anything I have said thus far. What I'm doing is I'm giving you some wonderful steps, some life lessons on how to be your best team member, starting with, of course, Jesus and you equals your team. But I am emphasizing your part to help you show up in being the best team member on your own team. So please go back and listen to part one so that everything can flow together for you. All right? So now, my next tip on building your or being your best team member on your team is to, I was saying, be real. Be honest with yourself. And what I mean by that, just look the man or woman in the mirror and just take an honest and good look at yourself. And if you find that you have some shortcomings or that you're not meeting basic expectations that you have, or that you feel where you should be, then be honest about it. Do not try to impress yourself or impress somebody else about trying to appear more than what you are or less than what you are. And we know we do that all the time because sometimes we are intimidated or we feel inferior at times, so we want to appear that we're more than what we are. Okay? So then that's more likely a common thing of appearing to be more than what we are. And more meaning because we're all special in God's sight. But what I'm saying that you have more education or more insight or more understanding than what you really do have. Just be for real, and people love realness. As I'm on here on the YouTube channel, on YouTube here, I pray that you feel my heartbeat. This is me, Emma Gray, and I'm trying to be as real to you as I possibly can. And I know that I'm a Southern girl with Western exposure. So if sometime I seem like I'm talking prim and proper, it's because I want to give you the best of me. And because of my Southern dialect, sometimes I can mispronounce words. So I will at times emphasize words a little more carefully because of the fact of my Southern dialect. Not that I'm ashamed of it, but I want to make sure that you understand. So please don't take it to mean that I am trying to appear to be more than what I am. I'm just truly grateful and thankful of what God has done for me, and He's allowing me, I get a chance to talk to you out there and to help some soul or life to change. Okay? And so I learned a life lesson as well when I went on an interview one time, and I was so out of my character that I happened to see the comments that the hiring person put down for me. I did not get the job, and the Lord allowed me to see the comments, which is out of the ordinary. You don't get a chance to see what a supervisor puts down as to why you didn't get the job. But the Lord, I didn't go seek it up. I didn't go look it up, but it just happened to fall in my hands. And the thing that the hiring supervisor said is that she is appearing to be more than what she is. And as I sit back and I thought about that when I went home, I was using words that were not me. I was talking about things that was not me. And that was because I was actually intimidated by the person that was hiring. I either wanted the job so bad, or either I didn't want the job, but I wouldn't appear that I didn't want the job. But I really didn't want the job. But I wanted to appear that I did, you see? And that's why being for real is very important. Very important. So in my not wanting the job, I wanted to appear that I wanted the job, and she peeped my whole card by seeing that I was putting up a front. that I was appearing to be more than what I was, so much to the point that I was not answering the questions in the way that I should be answering the questions. I was not giving the right answers to satisfy the supervisor, to entice the supervisor to hire me. And so those are the dangers of not being yourself. So be for real. And if there's a lack, or if there's something that you're lacking, then pray and ask God. If you see a pattern that's happening in your being who you are, then ask God. If you see a pattern that's happening, that you're not getting somewhere or things are not happening, then ask God, is there something wrong that you're doing? Or is there a change that you need to make? God is for real. He's here for us in our everyday life. And so he's our helper. So allow God to be all that you need him to be. There is no task too little or too big. You know, the word of God says his arms are not too short and his ears are certainly not too heavy to reach out and reach down to help you or to hear what your cries are. So instead of trying to impress someone with a false showing of really who you are, now certainly if you have some traits about yourself that are certainly unapproving or unappealing, you certainly don't want to do that in being for real. There are certain things that you do not need you need to bring to the altar right away. If you're an angry person all the time, you don't need to be for real about that and be for real out front without asking for help. Okay? Certain things, certain traits, and certain personalities we do need to call upon God and get that fixed right away and try to keep a harness on it, because if you don't, being an angry person is surely going to get you nowhere. You're not going to be able to progress in life. You're not going to be able to be all that God has called you to do. But what I'm speaking of is trying to be more, trying to impress when you really don't have the confidence or the know-how or whatever it is. Okay, so be for real with yourself. I think I talked about this earlier about your strengths and weaknesses. So learn what your strengths are, celebrate those strengths, and cash in on them. Use them as much as you possibly can. One of my greatest strengths is to be honest and sincere to people and show earnest and sincerity that I do want to help. I'm honest and sincere. One of my strengths is being a person that love to give information, to love to instruct, love to share. And my weaknesses, I have so many of them I can't even name, but I celebrate my strengths and I ask God to help me with my weaknesses. Okay? To help me, and even those weaknesses that I cannot see, and be open to that. Stay open for change, all right? Now remember, you're building up your own team by being the best team member, and these are some insights and tips to help you do that. Stay open to change and gather persons around you that bring out the best in you. Let me repeat that. Gather people around you that brings out the best in you. Not those that bring out the worst in you, but bring out the best in you. Great businessmen and women all over the world and country. There are strengths that they have, but there are weaknesses that they have. And what they do is they gather people around them that's going to make them look good. One person's strength may be your weakness. But you certainly also want people that's going to celebrate you, that's going to appreciate you, but not flatter you with foolish and vain flattery, but that will also tell you like it is and tell the truth, so that you will not walk around like the emperor. I don't know if you know the story about the emperor new clothes, where this tailor was brought in to make clothes for the emperor, and he fooled the emperor, and the emperor thought he was dressed so fine and nice, and the emperor walked down the street and strutting, and he was butt naked. So everybody around was cheering and cheering, but this one child in the crowd says, "Oh, the emperor has no clothes on. The emperor is naked." You want people to tell you the truth. You want to have people around you that bring out the best in you, that appreciate your personality, people that you are not threatened by or that you're intimidated by. You don't need to be around anyone that you feel threatened by or intimidated by. Okay? And so, unless until you can get that straight, that might be just a momentary thing that you're going through, and until you get it straight, you don't need to be around the person that you feel threatened by or intimidated by, because that's certainly not going to bring out the best in you. You want persons, again, to be around you that are honest and sincere. And it's possible. We can choose our friends. We can choose our associates. Family, we cannot choose. But friends and associates, we can choose. And one important tip is to have persons around you that bring out the best in you. Okay? And people that are going to be honest with you. Now, after you've done all of that, and it's going to take a process. It's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. I want you to digest all of these things that I have spoken to you. These are things that I have gone through myself and still is. And the Lord brought that to me remembrance as the Lord has taken me through these very same processes. Because I used to be the very one was not my own best team member. Okay? So after you've done all that, then you are ready. You are ready to be a valuable team member to someone else's team or whatever team that you find yourself on, whether it's school, home, work, family. When you have taken care of yourself, then you can be the best or one of the best team members for someone else. And that's why I say to you to love yourself and then love someone else, because you have taken care of yourself. So I hope that these insights and this life lesson has been a blessing to you and that you will take it to heart. Again, I hope that you're studying the Word of God out there, and remember the journal that I offered, as you become a subscriber of my channel. So you be blessed. Take care of yourself during these hot, humid days. Enjoy your summer. I will be back again as the Lord give me some more life lessons and tips to give to you. In the meantime, be careful out there and enjoy yourself. Take care. Bye-bye.